Hello people of YouTube and the world. Welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Matty Roth, brought to you by Matty Roth's Garage. Now tonight what we're going to do is we are going to cook us up a nice juicy steak. I've already preheated us up some butter here. Now we are going to take steak out of this package. Alright, hold on a second here. Just going to put the camera down. That looks so good. Look at that. Nice big juicy thick steak. Hold on. Alright, we are going to put it in the pan now. Now, the idea here is to slow cook it at minimum temperature. So that way there, you don't overcook the outside before you cook the inside. Now, I use a little bit of margarine here. Make sure that my steak here does not stick to my frying pan. It is a good idea to not use too much, but it is a bigger steak than I usually cook, so I use about half a block because the butter evaporates quite quickly. Now, we are just going to put that on 4, and we are going to leave it simmer, and we'll come back right after these messages that are not real but made up for your entertainment. Alright, welcome back to Cooking with Matty Roth. We have left the steak on for about 20 minutes and she is ready to be flipped, and I say she because steaks come from cattle and cows are female and bulls are the males, and you don't eat bull meat, you eat cow meat. So technically this is a she. Anyway, a little bit of trivia for you there. Now we just hold it down a little bit. My plaque is a little bit wobbly, as you see. We have no pepper or salt, so that's why we're slow cooking it, to get the natural flavors. And you see how I'm pushing down but not poking through? I do not want any of the juices from the inside of the steak to pour out, because that'll make it dry. There's another tip for you for a freaking steak. Alright, doing nice and good. I would really love to have salt or pepper, but my shakers are empty, so yeah. It's late at night, so there's no neighbors awake to help me out either, or my parents. My parents live a couple of blocks over, so in daylight it's easier to go ask them, but right now it's almost 12 o'clock, if not past. You see there, I got poked a little, and there's a little bit of juice leaking out, see? That's why I don't want to poke it. I guess a little bit there too, maybe from when I flipped it. Yeah, that's probably what happened. Jeez. See, you do have to poke it just a little at the edge to get it over, it'll slide, see? But you gotta be careful where you poke it, it'll fall out. Looking good. Okay. So, a little bit of preview to the next video of Cooking with Matty Roth. We are going to do it in daytime instead of night, like we've been doing the last 2 videos. We're going to do a barbecue and do some hot dogs and hamburgers. So, make sure to stay tuned for that. And also stay tuned for the RMS Olympic build, because I will be making a time-lapse video of basically, what do you call those things? They're with pictures, a slideshow of different stages of it, because it's although it's already painted, it has more pieces than the Titanic model I've already built. So stay tuned for that. Okay, back to the steak here. We've given it another 5 or 6 minutes. Haven't really been watching the clock. I just really go off the intuition with this. And you can see she's starting to brown. And that's what we want. We want it to brown on the outside, but we want it to stay nice and juicy on the inside. And we also want to pull off this grease here, this extra fatty grease that sticks to it from the pan. You pull all that off. You don't want that on your steak. Some people leave it on for flavor, but I just think it makes it hard to eat. What I like to do to add flavor, salt and pepper. I fry up some onions and mushrooms around it. Maybe a little bit of garlic. And maybe some spices, depending on what it is. Because with steak, you don't want to put too much, because you don't want to overpower the natural flavor of the meat. So you just put a little bit of onions around it, like just a little thin ring. And you fry the mushrooms next to it, and before your steak is done, you spread them out on top with the onions. And that allow the flavor to soak through the steak, and you eat it together. It's good with some potatoes. I actually have a little bit something extra to go with this, and that'll be next as part of the next part of this cooking video, because I'm going to not fry it. I'm going to cook it in my toaster oven right here, my good old reliable toaster oven. And what it is a little bit of a surprise. So I'm going to wait, because it cooks way faster than this, and that's why I'm waiting, because I want it to cook around the same time. And like I said, I use intuition, so there's a little bit of guesswork with this. Now, I was taught by my great-grandmother how to cook, as well as my own parents, and my foster parents, so I know a few things. I know how to make some desserts, I know how to cook like this. I can make spaghetti with meat sauce that would make you think you died and went to heaven. And I also know a very easy dessert to make. It's like Rice Krispie squares, but a little bit different. What you do, instead of melting marshmallows down in a pot with butter, you melt down Mars bars with butter. And you use that as your sweet glue to hold your Rice Krispie bricks together. And once it's all melted, you mix it in with your Rice Krispies. You put it in a square pan. Put it in the fridge for a while. And there's your dessert once it's cooled off. You just cut it into squares. And that is literally how you make Mars bar squares. So there's a recipe for you. The world of YouTube. Like, anyone could cook this. A child could cook that dessert. With supervision, of course. Oops. Yep, time to flip it. You see how it's browning on that side there? Okay, this is where I'm going to put my surprise in the toaster oven, because she's almost done. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Going a little bit too fast. Alright, hold on. We are just going to grab the surprise out of my freezer, so hold on a second. And ta-da! If you don't know what these are hash brown patty cakes. Basically like what you would do with hash browns and eggs, but pre-made, and you just put it in a toaster oven, or you can fry it if you want to, but I find frying it makes it a little bit too greasy. Turn it down some more. So yeah, jeez, it's getting a little loud. There. Make sure you want to separate them, and in between the two elements. Okay. Now close that up. Bake. Ignore my super dirty sink. Okay, I'm just gonna let that simmer a little. I'm gonna flip it over so I can scrape off the grease. We only needed half the thing of butter. We're not gonna need the other half. Oh yeah, looking good. Same thing with burgers. When you get that grease clumps, you want to take that off. That's why I like cooking on barbecue, because you don't get that. It just goes through the grill and into the basin underneath. You don't have to worry about this. So, those won't take long, trust me. I'm going to take the butter here and put it in the freezer before I forget again. Have a big clump of melted butter on my thing. Now, it's cooking. That's almost done. I'm going to go wash myself a plate, and we'll be right back after these made up and completely hilarious commercials. Now, we got us a nice piece of china. We got us a fully cooked steak. And we are just keeping it on very, very low heat to keep it warm. I waited just a little bit too long to start my hash browns. Like I said, there's some guesswork in this, and they're not always ready exactly the same time, but luckily if you do it smart, you cook the thing that can stay warmed up without burning to death. That's just a little joke. Before the other thing's ready. What I meant by burning to death is burnt beyond the point of being able to eat it. You just keep flipping it around and making sure it's good. You don't leave it on one side too long. And once again, scrape off the grease clumps. I cannot wait to eat this. This looks so delicious. Alright, hold on. Don't mind those crumbs. They're doing real good. Just gonna push down a little bit, make sure she's even on all sides. There we go. I'm just gonna check on them real quick. Ooh, careful. We flip it. And we'll see with this one. There we go. This is going to be a good late supper, I'll tell you that much. And if it wasn't a freaking hail of storm of mosquitoes outside, that's why I'd eat it, because it's beautiful outside right now. Nice starry night. You could see a pulpus approaching in the sky. The meteor that's going to pass real close in 2 years and possibly hit in 12, because it circles around. It's near Earth. You can see it. It's very bright. The sun's lighting up the comet's tail, and that's why you can see it. But yeah, you know, just hope for the best and hope it passes without incident. That's all we could do. Until the day when we all have to hold our breath, though, it's a cold sight in the sky, that's for sure. And to tell you all the truth about that meteor, Apophis, or whatever it is, I'm not really sure if that's the one they're talking about. But anyway, to tell you the truth, in my opinion, I'm not really worried about it hitting us directly. I'm worried about its structural composition because of how many passes it's made close. with the Earth, the Moon, the Sun, and all the planets pulling on opposite directions when it gets near us. So I'm worried about it breaking up. That's what I'm worried about, because if it breaks up, a piece could head in our direction. A big piece. And that's what I'm worried about. Less worried about a direct impact and more of a secondary because it's shattered on its own because of its gravity being distorted by the gravity of Earth, the Moon, and the Sun and all the other planets. Scientists have noticed the asteroid in question has diminished in size and shown signs of cracking since the last 3 times it passed. So my theory's not necessarily that out there, unlike the meteor or comet or whatever it is. Now back to cooking. Here we go. That back over. Alright, we are going to take a break, and we'll be back right after these hilariously made up messages. Okay, welcome back to Cooking with Matty Roth. Now, we are at the final stages of cooking my steak and my potatoes there. So we are going to turn the camera, and here is a steak, nice and dark brown, but not too hard to eat. Now, this grease here, we are just going to let that drip off. And if it won't come off by itself, shoot. That. And if it won't come off by itself, what you could do is you take a butter knife here, and you just give it a little bit of a hand. Alright. Same on this side. It also takes off any last pieces of those grease clumps. Now, we take the steak here, and we put that down. Look at that. So good. I'm just going to cut into it here. It would be easier if I had a normal steak knife, but I'm using a butter knife. And you can see she's not too, burnt on the inside. Now, my hash browns are ready now. We are going to take these nice golden brown hash browns out. Alright, there we go. Gotta be careful with this because they have a nasty habit of breaking in half on me. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to awkwardly position the plate on the thing carefully. I'm going to take my thing here, and I'm just going to lightly slide it onto my plate. I'll slide it over here and do the same thing. And please ignore the dirty sink. Alright, there we go. Now let's take our meal and go. And I found something in my cupboard that was a little bit of a surprise I wasn't expecting. And I'll show that to you right now. A ketchup pack and a little bit of salt. It's 2 things I didn't think I had. Alright, now, next step is to press the camera down. And you guys get my reaction as I eat. Shoot, almost lost my burner. Now, take my meal and just prepare it properly here. I take the camera, get back like that. I don't really have a kitchen table, so I just put the plate on my lap.
Anyway, it's true, but it has nothing to do with this. First time
I'm just trying to get the ketchup out here.
It was just to a hand. That's all it was. Just
Here's the butter knife.
It's time to go trick-or-treating. 3 more beer, shotgun, 2 more joints. Let's go, buddy. Trick-or-treat time. Fucking right we are. Alright. The only problem is
Spreading it out even.
test. No, we'll be fine.
Ricky, why would you
Don't put too much salt.
Oh, in case you see
Well,
some
trick or treat.
some hot moms.
And we take our
You
ketchup
got an
here,
extra trick or treat bag for me, buddy?
and
Thanks for
we'll just put a couple of squiggles on our hash browns. Don't want to put too much in one place now. You want to soak it with ketchup. And to all the people in the world that don't like ketchup, come on. Like, I'm not going to insult you if I don't like ketchup, but you don't have to hate on it. Ketchup is good, you know? It helps to eat dry stuff, and it's not the worst thing in the world you could put on your meal, you know? Like, I like relish and vinegar and stuff like that too, but, you know, ketchup is good. I suppose it's a Canadian thing. Most of you Americans never even heard of ketchup
Warning.
chips.
The following program
And
contains
believe me, it
really
is the
coarse
thing.
language, weed, alcohol consumption, smoking, sexual inferences. This content may not be suitable for viewers under 18.
So good.
To activate parental controls, please press the big go self button on your remote control.
Here's what you do. Here's how you do it. You go like this. And you suck the air out of the bottle like that.
Nice and moist on the inside, crispy on the outside. You can really taste the beef. Just enough salt to add to it.
Juno, I get a little people around here. You want to hear one of my cleaner jokes? What did the janitor say when he popped out of the closet? Supplies!
Jesus.
It's a cleaner joke, get it?
Yeah. Holy fuck.
Holy fuck. He's a real fucking
Whoa, no, that's not fake fucking bubbles. That's ridiculous. Okay. Okay. Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Also, for those that can't see what's happening, lady, it's just finishing.
Oh my.
Just there you go. It's just finished. Almost 3/4 of a quart of fucking liquor. It's all dirty Canadian whiskey.
How the fuck are you
Fucking
still alive?
crap.
How do you do that?
Keith Richards can't do that.
Nobody can do that. Nobody. It's impossible.
He did it without getting a liquor surge, too.
You've been spilling it. That's impressive.
Rest in peace, John Dunsworth.
You wrap around?
Well,
We
you
will
have
be
no
missed.
more liquor in it now.
I think he's using another bottle of it. Oh, what's in that bottle?
That's beer there. I don't think you want that, do you?
I hate beer. Beer tastes good smell.
For copyright reasons, I can't show it to you.
I haven't seen this
I'm
band
on
in
a
a while.
podcast. This is my very first podcast, people.
It's gonna be a long fucking day today. Sunnyvale.
And listen, Ricky, your eyes aren't all red and puffy like they usually are. They're just stone on your shit tree. You keep.
I've almost finished it.
You do your little potty gas. Do you, Ricky?
It's so good, I abandoned the fart.
Fucked up right now. I'm actually waiting on some hash to be delivered.
You're waiting on some ash to be delivered. And you say that in the fucking air. And you're gonna bring this shit and heat right in the fucking Sunnyvale. Fuck talking about you. Look, and you leave this shit on the table. What the fuck is that, Ricky? What is the fucking that? And joints and every little fucking P5 people Baker joint. And this, you know what that is? This is a fucking piece of shit, Randy. You guys are fucked.
See,
You guys are fucked.
Don't worry, hash browns are
That's
coming.
why you're not allowed to have fucking broadcasts in Sunnyvale Trailer Park because fucking ISIS will come here and it's a whole language corridor come here.
Yeah, I know.
It's
Nice
I
titties.
just want to point out, when you arrived here, you were somewhat calm.
I wasn't. I was upset.
You were somewhat calm and respectful. Then you chugged almost 3/4 of a quart of liquor, and now look at you.
You're a fucking
You're all
asshole.
fucking revved up, throwing
It
things.
was watered down. It was watered down. You know I'm fucking watered down.
Smoke a joint, calm the fuck down.
All that was.
Do you know what nutscaping is?
No, actually.
Yeah, I saw some sucker.
I don't want to talk just with him here.
Something. It's when you see a nice little scene like the Statue of Liberty, and you fucking put your camera under there and get your bottom in your balls. That's all it is, folks.
So-
It's ball skates, right? And that's because the Blue Jays were fucking whipped out of the kibble.
And this one, he's drinking real liquor.
They beamed him down and fucking like and missed the batter and cut the fucking umpire and he called a fucking thing a strike. It wasn't a fucking strike. We should be fucking playing the Royal Club. You guys are shit. And you know what? Here's the
That was like weeks ago. What the fuck is he talking? Where are you going? You don't want to talk about balls?
Almost done the steak. Last piece.
Don't
Oh,
fucking
sorry.
piss in my
Last
trailer.
piece.
Piss inside.
It's not about the money anyway. We're gonna fucking kick these guys' asses for the first time. Yeah, because look at the map.
Are you sure we can win? Because I need some fucking chips popping about.
See you in a couple
I'm not sure
days.
what the odds are, okay? Just trust the odds.
I was tired of steak as it went down.
Oh, we got a leader here. Okay, just he's doing good. 5 bucks, 4 bucks. Go ahead.
See how I meant her to like to fall apart?
Okay. Right on, P. Right on, buddy. You got her. Let's go over.
That's what I was worried about. See how it's falling apart now.
Right here, Ricky.
See how it didn't get all over the thing?
Fucking go ahead.
No. I would trick for this. You take the one with lots of ketchup, and you just
I
wipe
told
it.
you I didn't want to play this fucking
I
tournament.
don't know. It's even.
Nice. Right on. You want
win there?
another one? Yeah, I wanted
Play the game, bro. No way. Yeah. Whoa. Fucking winner, boys. Great. They're getting a fucking guy out.
Thanks, Julian.
$10. Go on.
Thanks. What do you mean? You want money for me or what?
I'm downloading a couple games for my TV is lagging out. Shouldn't affect the recording though.
Oh, Terry, come on, man. You're only home.
Don't worry, don't worry.
You know what, man? I'm hungry. But, I mean, that's good, but I'm not hungry anymore. I'm full.
You gotta win, man. I fucking.
That was good. The best stuff I ever cooked in this house in a while. Now,
Who's up next over here?
I'm going to cover the label for copyright reasons. But my favorite thing to drink in the world, and I mean all the time, I drink more than water, is this beverage, which shall remain nameless on camera for copyright reasons. Now, the company that makes this product, I have been drinking it my entire life, and it's the first pop I ever drink. It'll probably be the last pop I ever drink, and I'll probably drink it for the rest of my life. So, if you want to sponsor me for this channel, I will be more than happy to accept a sponsorship from the company that makes this beverage. But, unless that happens, I will respect your copyright laws, and I will keep the label covered.
I'm being distracted by all you. It's 3 against 1. What the fuck's going on? The fucking bubble's going on. Fuck that. I'm the fucking winner. The fuck you think this is? You're in real trouble now, motherfucker. Fuck the game. I don't want no trouble. Listen, motherfucker, this is my money. Great, Julie. This is fucking great. We're gonna get back. We're gonna win no matter what, right? You're gonna take on all these guys? Here we are. The fuck you think you're doing, Joe?
This is literally the best thing on planet Earth.
You said we're gonna fucking win here. It's supposed to be a fun game.
This beverage.
Where's our fucking money at, boys?
My favorite drink in the world.
That's not part of
Doesn't even have to have alcohol in it too. It's that good. Anyway, so this has been Cooking with Matty Roth. I hope you enjoyed tonight's video, and please go on to like, subscribe, comment. If the company makes this beverage wants to sponsor me, feel free to. I will very happily accept it and promote it for you guys. I'll even do commercials if you want me to. So go in the comment section, leave them a message. Tell your friends, like, subscribe, comment, come back for more, because there will be lots more. Alright, have a good night, have a good fall, and peace
Next time we don't play.
I love you guys. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for liking. And thank you for sticking around for these last almost 10 years now. Well, I'll see you guys soon, and I promise you there will be more off-road videos in the very near future. Alright, peace guys.